Hi everyone, it's Don, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, do I look tired? You can only imagine how I look right now. It's been a crazy, crazy bunch of days, weeks. Um, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any calmer. So first off, if you're on one of my group cruises, the Alaska group cruise and the Panama Canal group cruise, or if you're trying to reach me at all, please stay tuned to the end of this video and I'll talk about some things that are going on then, as well as right now I'll talk about the topic that I want to get under wraps. So right now, with everything that's going on and what's changing on the moment in the world, with places that you can go, you can't go, you have to stay away from, the cruise lines are now reacting, knowing fair well that they're being inundated. If you're trying to reach a cruise line right now, it's not unheard of to say, pick up the phone and get a message. Currently there are over 250 people on hold. Unfortunately, we cannot put you on hold at this time because they're just swamped with calls and they're trying to answer everybody's questions. And I really feel for anybody who's answering those calls at the cruise lines agents themselves, because I know how they feel, because I'm inundated right now with emails and calls and what's going on and things like that. So here's some of the things that some of the cruise lines have been doing, and just an example. So first off, I want to say, if you're wondering about your cruise, if you're past your final payment date or you have a final payment date upcoming, just go to the cruise line website and they'll usually have a little notice there that'll say, change of, policy, or ease, peace of mind cruising, this sort of thing. Click on that and read what your cruise line is doing for you. So I'll give you an example of two cruise lines right now, Royal Caribbean and Princess Cruise Lines, and how they're reacting and changing some things. And it makes it so much easier for people who are worried about traveling or wondering about their ports of call, if they're going to get canceled. I have clients who are going to Italy and sailing around the Med, and they have 4 stops in Italy, yet the CDC says don't travel to Italy, but the cruise lines say they're still going there. So what do you do? Well, if you don't know you don't know what to do, there's some things coming out that is changed. So first off, let's take a look at Royal Caribbean. Now, with Royal Caribbean has changed their cancellation policy as well. Cancel up to 48 hours before you sail and get a future cruise credit good through 2021. And that's for all cruises for right now, you starting immediately all the way through July 31st of 2020. So even if you've made your final payment and you cruise in 5 days or 6 days, you are still eligible to get an entire future cruise credit for your balance for your total cruise, and you will be able to add it and just make a future cruise all the way to the end of 2021. So, and let's hope everything's settled by then, because if it's not, then the whole cruising industry is gone and basically travel in the world is gone. So that is good news. Good job by Royal Caribbean, and it will certainly help ease everybody's mind. Now let's check out Princess Cruise Lines. So here's the cancellation and final payment updates for Princess Cruise Ship because of what's going on. So if you read it, anybody who has a departure March 6th to March 8th, so basically an immediate departure, can cancel up to the sailing date and automatically receive a future cruise credit of 100% of the cancellation fees, so your entire cruise. March 9th to April 3rd, if you cancel up to 72 hours, so 3 days ahead of time, before sailing, you'll also be eligible for 100% of the cancellation fees of the cruise. April 4th to May 31st. If you cancel by March 31st, so 1 month before your May 31st, you'll receive a future cruise of the 100%. So that's really good news for everybody doing that. As far as the other policies are out there, if you had a 90-day time for your cruise. So for instance, on our group cruise to Alaska, the payment date is coming up soon. It's March 15th. They've now extended that, so it's no longer 90 days, it's the 60-day policy, which means our date now changes to April 15th. So we have another 30 days to figure out what's going on there. So, and that will give you 100% future cruise, 100% back your money as well. So that's really good news. Also, another thing that's happening is guests who decide to stay with their bookings from March 6th to May 31st. If you're in a 3 to 4 day cruise, you will receive $100 US per stateroom. 5-day cruises, $150. 6-day or longer cruise, $200, and it will automatically be added to your onboard account. So if you stay with your cruise, they're giving you some extra spending money on board to say thank you and for remaining on your cruise. That's another extra little perk. So there you go. That's Royal Caribbean and Princess Cruise Line, and I'm sure the other cruise lines are following suit. Check theirs. I would have to do a 2-hour video about every different cruise line out there and what they're doing. So if you're wondering what their cancellation policies are now and the final payment dates, it gives us, for instance, changing it from 90 days to 60 days gives us that leeway to wait to see what's happening with the cruise ship off San Francisco and things like that, seeing if things calm down, if they get worse or not, and then we know that we can get our money back, or we can get a future cruise credit for up to 2 years in some cases, like 2021, the end of 2021. So good news there for all the people who are kind of on that fence wondering, what should I do? What should I do? This is really good news. So next I want to talk about some things that have happened, what's going on in the world as far as the group cruises are concerned and me. First off, the internet is right now, Outlook with Microsoft is having all kinds of issues. One of my website, the D Terrace at Travel Only, and the Don's Family Vacations at Outlook.com that all connect into one. Some of my emails aren't getting through. It's been a week since some people sent me an email and it's not coming through, and it's not coming through on spam. I have technicians been working on it. They say they may have to purge everything and reset it, which would mean I would lose all my emails that are in there. So I'm trying to get through all the emails I can before they do that, but they're working on it, and if that's the solution they come up with, they're just going to do it and I'm not going to see it. So I will let you know if that happens, but in the meantime, if you're trying to reach me, maybe as of Sunday, send me a new email if you've been waiting for me to get back to you. So if you're one of the people who've been trying to reach me and wondering what's going on and I haven't gotten back to you, that's the reason for my emails. That's just something's going on with the system again. That's happened about a year ago. And I think it's right around the same time that I announced a new group cruise. And what it does is it overwhelms the email system and it gets confused and it gets locked. And actually, I get like spam viruses that some things have been sent to me whenever I do this, when I get a ton of emails. Somehow they know you're getting a lot of emails, and so they try and sneak it in there. But if they purge it, then I lose everything that's in there waiting to be answered. And so if you're trying to look for me, please, I'm not ignoring you. Just send me a new email on Monday or later. That way I can, I'll see it. It'll be new and it's not going to pop up around. However, another thing that's happening right now is Outlook Express is just basically having slow issues. It's getting emails 1, sometimes 2 days later to people. And it's us sending an email out, for instance, myself or Angelina, or people sending emails to us are showing up like a day, two days later. And so it's causing a little bit of problems when we're trying to get payments for deposits and stuff like that. So don't worry, she's not ignoring you. We haven't seen the email. It's not coming in. So that's what's going on with the emails alone. And now I want to talk about the Alaska group cruise. As you just heard, Princess Cruise Lines has changed their policy. So I'm not in a hurry to contact everybody this week about your final payments. We have that grace period of another 30 days now. So I'll be reaching out to everybody and finding out what you want to do. Do you want to hold off? Are even if you were to pay all the money now, you would still get that. The date has changed now, so you could still get your money back. So, do we want to wait? Do we want to see what happens? Who knows what the policies are going to be, 30 days from now. So we'll have to go that. But there's no urgency now for that final payment right now, which is good news. And I will reach out to everybody and see what you would like to do. So that's on the Alaskan group cruise. Now the Panama Canal group cruise. How's it going on that? Well, you guys are always amazing me because I thought this cruise would be, too long for some people, and it's a little bit pricey because it's a 14-day cruise, so it's more money than a 7-day cruise, obviously. And Panama Canal is more expensive than, say, a Caribbean cruise. So I thought, okay, I'll get, maybe 40, 50 people, and we can enjoy a nice cruise. Well, after announcing the cruise, within under 24 hours, we had 450 emails. By the end of the next day, we had 1,500 emails. We are currently almost approaching 4,000 emails about that cruise. So what we've had to do is we are only given so many cabins on a cruise ship as a company. So I booked every single cabin I had. Boom, 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 booked and reserved. Then we contacted people for their deposit. And as people are saying, yes, here's our money, we locked that cabin in, it's done. Then if somebody says, well, you know what, I looked at the price, I'm a little worried about what's going on right now, I decided not to at the moment, but maybe later. Great, that cabin comes off the list. We go to another person, reserve them in, and then send out the information to them. And then we have another reset of 3 to 5 days where we have to wait for people to tell us yes or no. So we've been kind of going in order. We're not allowed to take 1,000 cabins on a 1,000 cabin cruise ship, so they won't let us do that. So as the cabins come available, now when I sell out all mine, where I actually have the confirmed deposits down for all the cabins, that's when Princess will give me another group of cabins. And so that's what we're going. We're not ignoring anybody out there who's looking for the Panama Canal cruise. If you haven't heard from us, doesn't mean you're not going to. But to be fair, we had to go in order of the emails. And we're not going in order of newest, we're going in order of oldest. So we are working on that. Angelina's been, and myself have been up till, we start at 7 in the morning. We're up till 3 at night for 2 weeks now. We have not stopped trying to get all this booked. It's a waiting period, and we have to call every single person in to talk to them and go over the details, and that takes time. And then when we do a booking, there's literally 10 pages of paperwork on programs that we have to fill in for every single booking. So it does take a little while. But here's some other good news that I wanted to mention to you. I've also been talking to Princess because there's so much interest in this cruise that we may be able to book the cruise afterwards, which is a return cruise from Los Angeles back to Fort Lauderdale. Only that one's 15 days. Same cruise ship, same everything, and we may do a second group cruise back to back. So if we sell out this ship, and the Princess will give me more cabins on the next one, and then we can try and sell that one out too. So it could be just such an amazing, and believe it or not, I've already had people, when I was talking to them, saying that I'm going to try that, would you rather book on the second cruise than the first one? They said, well, book me on both. I think I'd like to stay on a cruise ship for a month. So I have people already booked to stay on a cruise ship for basically the entire month. This is a long cruise. So that's great. And so that's what we're going to do. So the more people we get, the more the merrier. And it's going to be such a fun and an educational cruise as well. Don't forget, we're doing the historic locks. If you've never been on a Panama Canal cruise with Princess, they have some great, great guest speakers that talk about the history of the building of the Panama Canal. And it's absolutely, I'm riveted every time I hear these stories to think of how they built this in the time without the equipment that we have now, the giant drills and the lasers and all this stuff that we have. They didn't. And they were building through a jungle at the time. And it's amazing, absolutely amazing to see all this in person and to hear the stories from the experts. So I hope you'll be patient with us. Like I said, my email is completely messed up right now. Angelina's is working fine, but it has a slight delay for some reason. And it's not just us. I've been talking to other people who are doctors and people who are like lawyers, and I have some insurance people, and they say they're getting the same problem. Even my nephew, Mark, who's a real estate agent, says he's getting the exact same problem right now too. So it's a worldwide, at least in Canada or Ottawa, problem for that. Hopefully they can fix it without purging my emails. I'll let you know if they do, but if you're trying to reach me as of Monday, please wait till Monday. Send me a new email because they're making their decision on what they're going to do by Sunday night at midnight. And so if they repurge it, I'll have all new emails in the morning. And again, I apologize to anybody who's been trying to reach me. It's just been absolutely dumb what's been happening with the email system right now. And as you can imagine, I have clients in Italy, I have clients in the Med, I have clients in Asia, I have clients in San Francisco, and everyone's wondering what's going on with the cruise ships. And until yesterday or late yesterday, we had no changes in policies, and now we do. So that's really good news. And I hope this eases a lot of worry for a lot of people out there. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please forgive me if I haven't reached back to you. It's just been a crazy couple of weeks. Well, until next time, everybody, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.